Hello and welcome, I'm Raziel and we are continuing with the Getting Started month. Whatever. Anyway, so today, we've talked a lot about how the actual gaming side of it is and getting into the games and building armies, and why you should paint and stuff like that. Good, just good, hopefully good advice that you guys understand that it's all there for you to help you. Now, today is about the lore. Now, the lore of most wargames, I'm going to ignore historical wargaming in this video mainly because it's historical wargaming. It's not much different from what you could learn from a history book. Yeah, the story might be different by the end of a battle, the good guys might lose and the bad guys might win. Whatever happens. It's down to dice rolls and strategy of the players. The thing is, when it comes to the lore, there is many ways to get into this, and there are many authors and many novels, graphic novels, loads of different things. And I've said before, there's two types of lore as well. There's narrative lore and there's technical lore. Technical lore is what I prefer myself. It's timelines. It's written in a historical style. It's this happened here, this happened here, this happened here, and then, this person did this or this person did this. There's not much written as a story, and it's also got a lot of things about the weaponry that's involved, the vehicles involved and how they work, and that's my cup of tea. That's something I enjoy, because I like to read more facts than an actual story. Where the narrative lore is written more like like literature and story and fictional style, where it's very much it's a story, isn't it? Really, I don't know what else to say. It's written to entertain, not just educate. You've just got characters and how they feel, how they fought, as in fought, F-O-U-G-H-T, not fought as in fought. Anyway, and you get all that, and both are very good and very interesting to read. But again, you've got to kind of figure out which one's more you than what is popular. And that way you can understand how to get into the lore yourself. Now, when it comes to novels, I often see what I believe is the most common mistake made by people suggesting books. Now, I'm not saying they're suggesting bad books or bad novels. It's what they're suggesting. See, to me, if someone says, Raziel, I'm interested in this series, this fandom, where would you suggest? I would go, I like Sarah Corkwell, she's a good writer, so I'd go there. I like Michael A. Stackpole as well, I'd go there, or Stephen or Stephanie Perry. I'd go that direction. I'd go, this author is the one I enjoy, and that's the way I would go it. And last were Alien and Predator books, by the way, just in case you're wondering. It's Michael A. Stackpole. I got into the World of Warcraft lore via his work on Star Wars. And Sarah Corkwell wrote the only book for Wild West Exodus, but I got that because she wrote Valkyr for Warhammer Fantasy. See? And when you suggest an author rather than a book or a book series, you open people up to more than just that fandom. Like I just suggested there, each one of those authors got me into a different fandom. And some of them were not even really related. Star Wars, for example, to World of Warcraft. And the same goes for graphic novels. Dan Abnett is a fantastic person for writing comic books. Yeah, he does good 40k stuff, but I would always say his graphic novels and his comics are some of the best. And it's got me into Resistance, with the old PlayStation 3 games. Got me into that lore as well because he helped write with I forget his name now. He wrote the story for Resistance in a graphic novel, and that's what I mean. And that's what I would always go with people. It's like, this is the author I like. These are the books he's written. Go that way. Now, if you were to just suggest a book, how can I say it? If I was to say, okay, read the Blood Bowl book, Rumble in the Jungle is the first one that came into my head, by Matt Forbeck. The style of writing that the author does might not appeal to the person who's reading it. Where if you go by the author, so we'll continue with Matt Forbeck here, and his Blood Bowl book, I would say, alright, do you like Terry Pratchett? Yeah. Matt Forbeck has taken a lot of inspiration from Terry Pratchett for his Blood Bowl books. And you can read it in them. He has taken a lot of inspiration from the Discworld series. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm not saying that GW are ripping anyone off, because this seems to be Matt Forbeck's style. And I have read some of his Minecraft books now, because I happen to like Matt Forbeck. Whereas when it comes to the technical stuff and actually getting into the lore from the start, I would always suggest read the rulebook, go to the websites, and get the information from a more technical point of view, so you can see what they are like more quote-unquote factually. Okay, I don't know what else to really put there than factual information, not a story time. And when you read about like the Spires for Conquest or the Warrior Nations for Wild West Exodus, I'm not going to mention Wild West Exodus in a video about lore, seeing it's one of my favourite settings for any game. And that way you get a better idea of understanding how each faction actually acts and, are as a whole, rather than down to the single character. The novels, I will always say, and I believe this to my core, are more based on getting to know the characters at hand, whereas the, let's say, codices, rule books, army books, anything like that is more about the armies and the setting as a whole. And that's a good place to start when trying to learn about the setting of a game or an army or anything like that, because you're getting a wider perspective of the situation rather than just a very slim character perception. There's nothing wrong with characters, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people like more character-driven books. I like character-driven books and novels. It's interesting. But when it comes to learning the lore about something, I am the sort of person that will buy a map of the situation. Like, I'm getting the ear map, cloth map you can buy, because I want to see what the world looks like. And that's the kind of thing that interests me. Same with when I got Skyrim or Oblivion. And the thing that I like about these games, rather than the games themselves, is the maps that you get part of the game. They look good, they feel cool, and they're really interesting to see where everything is as well. And the same with wargaming. This more technical side and seeing the wider perspective helps you get into a game and its fictional universe better than buying straight away a novel. A novel will be very narrow and very restrictive to what the fat part of the story is, whereas the more factual stuff will help you out more and give you a better, wider perspective, as I said, of the whole situation and the universe you're in. Anyway, that's my lore video, and I'll see you all in the next one. I hope to see you soon again. Link to Wayland Games down below as always, and I'll see you soon. There's also Forbidden Planet as well for comics, DVDs, mangas, everything like that. There's my merchandise as well, and there is my comics and Skyforge and Patreon, because business. Bye bye.